right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. I was listening to something earlier today about the Cincinnati Bengals. 10-7, made it to the Super Bowl. Joe Burrow, flashy offense, good defense, blah 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 blah, and it got me thinking to myself, hold on, the Las Vegas Raiders. I know that I know how the postseason went. I know they lost to them. It was close. It was very, very close, by the way. And that's kind of the point of this video. Raiders finished 10-7. You finished the season on a 4-game win streak, and you took down the Chargers in the last week of the season. The winner goes on. Winner goes to the playoffs. Big time game. I turn back my clock, and I think to myself, everybody ever that was talking about that game, non-Raiders fans, everybody, the NFL media basically was talking about how the Chargers were about to make the playoffs and Justin Herbert and the Chargers could possibly make a Super Bowl run. And I saw some people say, they get this win, they're going to the Super Bowl. So the Raiders win. And then you faced off against Cincinnati Bengals. Very close game, very close, tough loss. And Cincinnati goes with a brutal offensive line, might I add, goes to the Super Bowl, loses, but they're number 4, number 3 in power rankings. Well, the Raiders season, I go back to the start of the season, everything that went on, the Ruggs, the Gruden, just everything that possibly could have been unideal essentially happened for the Las Vegas Raiders. So this team went through thick and thin. Derek Carr, the whole team, the whole coaching staff, they picked everybody up, they kept working, and they finished the season on the highest of high notes you could possibly finish at. 10-7 in a loaded conference, makes the playoffs, and you suffer a brutal, tough, sad... I'm going to stop talking about that, how the season ended. My point is this. The whole contingency, everywhere I read right now, about the Las Vegas Raiders for this upcoming season is, yeah, they got Davante Adams, but the offensive line. Yeah, they got Chandler Jones, but the offensive line. Yeah, they had a phenomenal draft, including day 1 starter Dylan Parham, but their offensive line. And I remember, because I live here in Chicago, I remember going to the Bengals-Bears game last year, and I'm like 100% sure, 99% sure in my head, fact check me on this one, please. I'm pretty sure the Bears beat them. I'm pretty sure the Bears beat the Bengals last season. I remember thinking to myself, these Bengals are going to be good. They're going to be a good team, but their offensive line is horrible. Now, this could have been 2 years ago, but I actually don't think that's possible because I'm pretty sure I saw Joe Burrow play football. So my point is this. I was 3 or 4 weeks into the season. I'm not a Bears fan, so I don't really have too much remembrance of the small specific details, but I do remember sitting to myself thinking, wow, the Bears sorry ass team just kind of lit up the Cincinnati Bengals. But at that point in time, I'm not thinking, oh, this is the Super Bowl team, the Cincinnati Bengals. If you had told me at the end of that game, and you had been to me, you saw that game, right? Yeah. They're making the Super Bowl. What? Are they trading for 5 offensive linemen? What's the deal? How is that possible? They just lost to the Chicago Bears. No disrespect to the Chicago Bears, but so I'm very high on the Las Vegas Raiders. And I don't believe that the offensive line faults, or I shouldn't even say faults because it's been the preseason. I don't think the faults of the offensive line last season for the Raiders and what we've seen in preseason, I don't think that even really should be thought of that much. I really genuinely don't believe. I've been following the Raiders this all offseason. I just started making Raiders videos. I just started getting into the Raiders. And the one thing I've noticed is, as far as the offensive line goes, there's a lot of young studs out there. I swear there was always somebody new each week in camp all off season, since camp started, I should say, that so-and-so has been impressing crazily. And they're offensive linemen. They're a young offensive lineman. So, yeah, is Alex Leatherwood the best right tackle in the NFL? Definitely not. Is Alex Leatherwood even going to be on this roster come opening day? I don't really know. Personally, I think so. Will he be starting? I have a hard time believing that, especially from what I saw 2 or 3 nights ago against the New England Patriots, where, I mean, he was by far, like, what do you give up? 4 sacks and 5 pressures? Or 2 sacks, 4 hits, 5 pressures? It was something just, it was like, oof, another bad one. So I know there's a lot of rumor going on with Alex Leatherwood. Is he going to stay? Are they going to keep him? Are they going to trade him? What are they going to be able to get for him? Blah, 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 blah. Whatever. Point is this. The Las Vegas Raiders, to me, I think will be like the Cincinnati Bengals in the sense of, you know, the Bengals have an offense that, like, is just unreal. And they have a really solid defense. And that's actually with a faulty great great run game, great quarterback, tough, faulty offensive line. That, to me, that's my perception of the Raiders this year. So I'm thinking to myself, hold on, wait a minute. The Las Vegas Raiders totally could make the Super Bowl. They totally could. Now, I know I've talked about this time in, time again. Like, you know, this is a Super Bowl caliber team. I think we all know that. Or, you know, even if you have a different opinion, maybe you can kind of see how one could come to that conclusion. My point is this team is really talented. And they made some crazy moves this offseason, something that I don't think the Raiders have really been doing in the past couple of seasons, where you went out there and you gave up some pieces. You gave up your draft assets. You gave up some value. And you got Davante Adams onto your team, the best wide receiver in the NFL. To pair him with his college quarterback, Derek Carr, best friend. You bring in a new coaching staff, Josh McDaniels, who has, offensive speaking-wise, been extremely, extremely solid at what he's done. Like, he's a beast as far as offensive coordination goes in his tenure with the Patriots. Beast, right? Bring in just Chandler Jones, just, you know, an X-Factor superstar. You have a phenomenal draft, and you had a really solid low-key defense last season. And, you know, obviously you have superstar Max Crosby. So it's a really talented team. And I forget where I heard this recently somewhere, like, you know, you always got to follow up with, like, oh, we lost blah, 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 but we got blah, 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 right? You know, the Raiders may have lost some pieces, but they definitely gained some pieces there. So that's really it for today, man. If you enjoyed it, hit the like button, hit that subscribe button. Let me know what you see from the Raiders this upcoming season. They just had a undefeated preseason, and the season ampness is through the roof. So we got like a little less than 2 weeks until the start of the season. Maybe it's 3 weeks till the start of the 2 weeks till the start of the season. And yeah, if you enjoy Daily Raiders content, hit that like button, hit that sub button. Peace.